She's sleeping.
Oh, good. I'm sorry it had to be so early, Mrs. Scott.
Oh, no, I'm sorry Mrs. Goodman became ill. She's going to be all right, isn't she?
Oh, I'm sure she is. My aunt's just got a stomach virus. I think she was more concerned for the baby.
Oh, well, me too. This is the first evening I've left Julia alone.
Listen, if new mothers never went out at night, how would people like me make a living?
Oh, you've got a good point. Well, that isn't the only reason. Julia's not the only reason I haven't been going out.
Sure, I know. Well, listen, what's the point of staying around staring at the walls all the time? Especially when you have a good-looking man willing to pay for dinner. He did pay, didn't he?
Now, don't you sound like your aunt. Yes, he did.
Yes. Listen, what did you eat, if you don't mind my asking? I always like to know what people eat at fancy restaurants. I get, what do you call it? Vicarious thrill.
Oh, okay. I had duck. We both had duck. How's that?
That's okay, I guess. But to me, duck's just a social climbing chicken.
Oh.
Anyway, listen, I better get out of here because I'm sure you want to relax and see your sister-in-law on the 11 o'clock news.
Oh, yeah, maybe one of the last times I get a chance to see her before she goes off on vacation.
Oh, right.
Listen, I want to thank you very much for coming in at such short notice.
Oh, thank you. Oh, this is yours.
Thank you. And
Thanks.
Oscar will get your cab downstairs, all right?
Oh, great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. See you again.
Yes.
Hello. I didn't expect you to be home this early.
Oh, yes, I'm here. I brought some bits and pieces home with me from the office.
So I see.
Well, you seem very cheerful.
I do?
It must have been a very nice evening.
I think you could say that. In fact, I think you could say that it was a splendid evening. Splendid. Gonna go hang up my coat. I sort of feel like a little nightcap or some kind of splash of brandy. Would you like something?
No, dear, thank you. Well?
Well, what?
Tell me about your dinner. Where did you go?
Oh, we went to that new French place. It's called Coquette, I think. Had their crispy duck. You pour brandy on it, set it on fire. Spectacular. Even tasted good. Of course, we nearly burnt the place down, but...
Well, it sounds charming, if somewhat dangerous.
I did notice that the maitre d' didn't have any eyebrows.
They should keep a fireman on their staff.
A good idea. Good.
Well, tell me, how did April enjoy the evening?
I think she liked it.
You didn't stay out very late?
No. This is our first time out in, long time, so we decided to make an early night of it.
I think that's a very good idea. As a matter of fact, I think the whole evening was a very good idea.
Well, I'm glad that you approve.
Well, aren't you going to ask her out again?
Yeah, I thought of that. She's got babysitter problems, all right?
Well, there are reliable babysitters around, Mrs. Goodman, for one.
Well, Mrs. Goodman is going to be taking care of Adam. She's solely for the next few days. Miles and Nicole are off on some sort of vacation.
Well, she can make some other arrangements.
Okay, all right. You got me. She's invited me to dinner at her place later this week.
Oh, I see.
I thought I'd send her over, I don't know, a little something. I was going to ask your advice about that. What do you think?
Well, I think that would be very nice. Perhaps a lovely bottle of wine or some flowers.
Yeah, I guess that'd be all right. That makes sense.
April is a wonderful girl, isn't she, Logan?
Yeah. Yes, she's very special. It's just a shame that fate has been so rough on her.
Yes, well. We never really know what fate has in store for us, do we?
I think I'm going to have a little more brandy. You're a darling, you know that?
Glad you went out. I hope it means you'll stop refusing our invitations to dinner.
Why don't we just wait until you get back from your vacation and we'll talk about that. Oh, speaking of vacation, are you very excited?
I realize the Palace Park is only 80 miles from Monticello, but I feel like I'm going to Kathmandu. I just hope it doesn't take Miles 5 days to unwind. Oh, by the way, he's going to be here in a few minutes.
He is? Why?
Oh, he realizes how much stuff I bought for the trip. He's coming over to give me a hand.
Oh, but aren't you going on air soon?
Yeah, in 23 minutes to be exact. Are you going to watch?
Am I going to watch? You are asking the station owner if she's going to watch the 11 o'clock news. Of course I am, and I order you to give me some good news. Do you hear that? I'm in the mood for good news. I've had a wonderful evening, and nothing is going to spoil it.
All set. You know you are spoiling me.
And I love it.
Hey, where'd you get that?
In the kitchen. See? It says April's Apron. I'll go get the coffee.
Kirk, that kitchen is just fantastic. I love it. And the dishwasher's even better than the one we have at home. Well, I can't say that anymore, can I? This is our home. Gosh, you must be so tired of hearing me rave about this house. Hey, what's the matter?
Nothing. Just trying to relax, like you said.
Well, you look like you're doing anything but. I wish you'd be happy. I know it's strange getting used to a new house.
But I've got a whole new world to get used to.
That's the nice thing of having a new house. We can get used to it together. You know something? I don't think it's going to take very long. We've only been here a day, and already I feel like it's familiar. Don't you?
It does do that, that's for sure.
Of course, we were here once before. Well, you remember the day we first saw the house. Who would have dreamed it would be our home?
Wait a second. It's not ours yet.
Well, it is, except for a few formalities. April Scott assured me of that. This is our house. Why else would she let us live here before the closing?
Closing. The closing. That means we'll have to deal with lawyers, huh?
Gosh, I didn't even think about that.
Well, there's a lot more to buying a house than giving somebody money and then moving in. You have deeds, contracts, title search.
What's a title search?
Oh, that's some research to make sure there wasn't any prior encumberment on the property. Something that'll spoil your dream later on. You know, liens against a property, easement, zoning restrictions, things like that.
Kirk, do you think that maybe you might have been in real estate or something? You really know an awful lot about buying and selling houses.
Yeah. Maybe I was in real estate.
Well, whatever it was you did, I'm sure it was wonderful. Maybe it was even something to do with law.
Yeah, maybe it was the law. These phrases keep popping into my head. But I'll bet, considering my past record, that if I had anything to do with the law, I'd learned about it the hard way.
Hey, None of that. Remember our bargain.
All right. None of that.
You know what I think? I think when you go looking for a job, you got to look for something in connection with law. Like a law clerk. A law clerk doesn't need a degree, does he?
Sure, he needs a degree. He also needs a lot of experience, something that I can't offer.
I don't have any experience either. Wonder what kind of job I could get. The only work experience I've ever had is working in Daddy's office.
Well, that's something.
Yeah. I did handle his billing and his records and his finances for the past 10 years. Maybe I could work in a hospital or in another doctor's office.
Sure, that's reasonable.
Hey, I don't want to talk about this. I don't even want to think about leaving this house for some nasty old job. But on the other hand, won't it be nice coming back here day after day?
Yeah.
I think we ought to have candles on the table every night with dinner and fresh flowers.
Well, we could even grow the flowers ourselves.
Yeah. And in the winter, we'll have a fire in the fireplace. And we can sit here and just look at the flames.
It's a real pretty picture.
And on weekends, we'll go for long walks. And we can go antiquing and to flea markets. And on Sundays, we'll stay in bed until noon.
It's almost time for bed now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Emily, I hope you understand what I have to say now.
It's about our sleeping together, isn't it?
Yes. I think it would be better if I took the extra room down at the end of the hall.
Kirk, there's hardly any furniture in there. The Scotts were about to change it.
But there was a bed there, and there's drawers and a closet. That's all I need right now, Emily. You do understand?
I just thought that once we got into our own home... Of course I understand. We've only been here a day. Things haven't changed that much. But they will, won't they?
There you are. You should be in the studio by now.
10 minutes. Where have you been? Ah, don't tell me. Don't tell me. Never ask a Dr. Weislade.
Ah, yeah, we always have good alibis, don't we? Actually, I had to wait until Mrs. Goodman's niece showed up.
Oh, yeah. She was staying with Joey, wasn't she?
Yep. Wonder what kind of a dinner April had.
Well, it was good. I was just talking to her. She sounded fine.
Oh, terrific. Well, it's about time she went out.
Yeah. And I'm glad she went with Logan, too. You know, the more I see of him, the more I like him.
I think April feels the same way.
I think you're right. I think she likes him.
Well, now, listen, am I going to get a real kiss from the newscaster, or is she afraid I'll smudge her makeup? Come here.
Well, I'll just have to explain to the audience. I think they'll understand. I'm looking forward to this vacation. 5 days and nothing to do but think about each other.
I can hardly believe it myself.
Still on, isn't it? No last-minute emergencies?
Of course it's on.
Yeah?
Mrs. Goodman and her niece are all set to stay with Adam. The reservations are made. Suitcases have been taken down. They're all ready to be packed.
I'm so used to things going wrong. I don't count on anything until it
feel that
happens.
way. Then come on, look on the bright side. There is one, you know.
Well, there has been for me ever since we happened. I hope you realize that I count myself one of the happiest, luckiest women in the world.
I kind of feel like I'm living a charmed existence myself.
I have got to get myself organized.
Listen, when you talk to April, did she say anything about Logan's situation?
No, she didn't. But I'd imagine she's still feeling pretty guilty about that letter that Raven lost.
Guilty? Why? It's like feeling guilty because you were struck by lightning. She's just another one of Raven's victims. Not the first time, either.
Well, it did accomplish one thing. I think there's no way that April will consider a Raven a friend from now on.
Well, I think she knows Logan's a friend. That's why she's going to testify in his behalf, that custody suit.
Yeah, I suppose that's the next best thing to hard evidence. I just wonder if we'll get Logan his son back.
Hadn't you better get in there? The show must go on, you know?
Right. Oh, well, I'll see you at 11:30. Miles, do you have any feeling that April and Logan... Never mind. Showtime.
All right, I mean, what do you expect of me? First you want to go to bed, then you want to stay up. I think all you really want to do is complain, and you get that from your father. It's probably the neighbors. I hope they want a little kid to take home with them, a naughty little boy, because I got one.
Hi.
You go to hell.
Oh, that's no way to treat a friend.
Look, I don't want to see you. I don't even want to hear from you again, you damn blackmailer.
Oh, what's your language, darling? This is a baby present.
Yes, well, I'll just put him away so I can use some language on you. Come on, we're going to bed.
Oh, cute mommy.
You can just cry all you want to. I don't really even care.
Wonderful.
Jamie, now will you please be quiet? Okay, you're next.
Next one to go to bed? That's okay by me.
The next one to not give me any more trouble and leave my house. I refuse to let you blackmail me with that letter.
It hurts to have the tables turned, doesn't it?
I'd like to turn a table over you. How about a chair?
Oh, Raven, you know why I'm here tonight. It's to sign a peace treaty between us.
Yeah, well, blackmailers don't make treaties.
I'm not a blackmailer. Blackmailers want money. All I want out of you is you.
Didn't you get enough of that before you blackmailed me?
That's not what I want, darling. I'm an exclusive person. I don't want to share my woman.
I have told you so many times you're the only man in my life. Why don't you believe me?
You must be kidding. With your track record?
Oh, I don't believe you. You begin to sound just like my husband. What is this big deal you have with fidelity?
Raven, you'd scratch my eyes out if you caught me with another woman.
You're right, I would, because it's true. I've seen how you played around with those little girls with the unicorn.
I'm in love with you, Raven.
You're what?
Never mind. Oh, I'm sorry, I see. You probably don't understand the word. All I can ask you is to feel flattered that I keep the letter. It shows that I care enough about you to want to have a hold over you.
Yeah, I'm real flattered.
Well, I promise you you'd get that letter back. Well, I think the time is right.
Look, if Logan Swift gets that letter in his hands for this custody battle, I will kill you.
Don't worry about the letter. It's safe in my office, away from prying eyes. That's where it stays. As long as you have eyes only for me. Do you understand me?
I never could resist a rogue. And you're the best.
So far, 5 lawsuits have been filed against the railway because of the wreck at Grand Falls, totaling close to $6 million in claims. But a spokesman for the railroad is confident that his company will be able to disprove any charges of negligence. At City Hall today, the newly appointed budget director has vowed to keep the mayor's promise of a balanced budget in the coming fiscal year, but has warned that some extensive cuts in civil service jobs may be necessary. As for tomorrow's weather, we can expect warmer temperatures and cloudier skies. Averages will be between 75 and 80, with a 40% chance of rain. Well, that's all the news for now. I'll be back tomorrow evening at 6 with more of the news you need to know. This is Nicole Drake for WMON News. Good night. Happy dreams.
Isn't she fantastic? Well, well. So that's what she looks like. Nicole.
Seems as though a harmony is hard to find. Always on my mind. And frustrated days pass without sight. The edge of night, half dark, half light. Do you think we might wake up someday and be aware of all the games people play? Living circles of unending strife as we look for light, and nothing is wrong and nothing is right. The edge of night, half dark, half light. Watching all.
No, Elliot, I can't go. I told you it is out of the question.
Stop playing hard to get. It's one of your less convincing roles.
Look, Jamie has to watch his favorite cartoon program, don't you, Jamie? And I promised I'd watch it with him.
Bring up that teenage nanny who looks after Jamie so well, and we'll be off to the unicorn. Come on.
Is that a suggestion or is that an order?
Raven, I was hoping you'd be a better sport about all this.
I'm sorry, but I get a little upset when I get blackmailed.
Possession of that letter does give me exclusive option on your affection. But is that so terrible?
Oh, I see. All you have to do is snap your fingers and I come running. Is that it?
Oh, the arrangement wasn't intended to be quite that rigid.
You mean I don't have to salute you or anything?
Look, Raven, if you can't muster up enthusiasm to come with me to the unicorn, just say so and I'll go by myself.
Relax, Elliot, relax. Actually, the truth is I have been cooped up with this kid in the house all day, and I am sick and tired of looking at these four walls, and if I hear one more gurgle or a mama or a cry or anything, I will scream.
Oh, spoken like the devoted mother you are.
I will call Gloria.
Good.
Hello? Hello, Gloria, darling. How are you?
Who is this?
This is Mrs. Swift.
Oh, hi.
Look, I know this is kind of short notice, but I was wondering if you could come over right now and look after Jamie.
What do you think? I'm on 24-hour call?
Well, we rely on you, and it would be a personal favor.
Gee, I don't know. It's awful short notice.
If you're over here in 20 minutes, I will have an extra 10 for you. How's that?
Tell Jamie I'm on my way.
Yes, okay, goodbye.
Bye.
That 10 is coming out of your pocket.
A small price to pay for your company, sir.
Well, why don't you stay here and play with Jamie while I go put something on my body to dance in?
Already?
Hello, Raven.
Surprise, surprise.
I thought we should have one of those civilized chats you're always asking for.
How'd you find me?
It's not really important, is it? I know where you are, and I'm here. I know quite a lot, actually. Oh, it's just like old times, isn't it, walking in on the two of you?
Hello, Logan.
Look, Elliot came over to buy some food for me so I wouldn't have to leave Jamie, and then,
Sure he did. How you doing, Slugger? Sorry to find you in such bad company.
You've got a lot of nerve.
Logan Raven is legally separated. I have every right to be here.
Elliot, you would have a bad influence on the Nazi party, let alone my son. I think you should stay out of this.
He's an invited guest, which is more than I can say for you. And how'd you get my address?
What difference does it make? I'm here.
Was it that red-headed blabbermouth?
Oh, Raven. All right, it was Deborah. So what?
She is turning into an anti-Raven task force.
She's concerned about Jamie's welfare.
Oh, the poor girl. Isn't it blatantly obvious that the only reason she's helping you is so you'll notice her?
What are you talking about?
Of course, you haven't been noticing redheads lately because you've been so interested in honey blondes.
Boy, you do live in your own world, don't you,
It
Raven?
makes a lot of sense that Deborah can't get anywhere with you since you've been chasing after the widow Scott.
Hope you don't expect me to justify myself because you're going to be sadly disappointed. I'm here because I don't like the way Jamie is being treated, and I expect that to change radically and soon.
I am taking excellent care of Jamie.
Excellent care. When Deborah and Calvin came here, he was alone with some reject from a home economics course. You call that excellent care?
That's a lie.
Logan Raven has been a diligent mother.
Stay out of this.
I see through your plot. You just want to discredit me for your custody trial.
I just want to be sure that Jamie is well taken care of until the courts can settle this mess.
Well, he will be, and when they do settle this mess, he will stay right here, so you better get used to it, seeing as you don't have the letter.
I think I'll bring the car around front. Nice seeing you again, Logan.
You better leave, too, because my babysitter's going to be here any minute, and I have to get dressed.
Raven, I need to ask you a favor.
What?
I want to spend a few minutes with Jamie. I haven't seen him in a long time.
No.
I won't try anything. I promise.
All right.
You hungry? You hungry? Here. You want this? How you doing? You look pretty good, all things considered. I think you've even grown a bit. Oh, yeah? Sure hope this hasn't been as hard on you as it has on me. I wish you could talk. It's very important that I know if your mom is taking good care of you or not. Guess we'll just have to hang in there for a while longer, won't we? We'll all be together soon. You, me, your grandma Geraldine. The place hasn't been the same without us. Certainly hasn't been the same. We got quite a homecoming planned for you. You know that? Balloons, cakes, ice cream, the works. No judge in his right mind would keep you from that. Hope not, anyway. Yeah, I'll get it. You wait right here. Yeah.
Oh, I work here.
Doing what?
I'm the babysitter.
Oh, my God. You're the trained nurse, right?
Say, who are you anyway?
I'm the baby's father.
Oh. So, you're the reason she's in such a sweat about going out, huh? What happened to the other guy?
What was your name again? Gloria? Was that it? Gloria?
Yeah. And look, God, I hope your wife's gonna get the kid to bed before she leaves. I don't want him up all night.
Yeah, I heard you're not too fond of children on the whole. Not that I blame you, of course. They're pesky little things, aren't they? Always crying or
Say, mister,
wetting themselves,
what are you
something
getting at?
foul like that, right?
Listen, Mrs. Swift, I don't like the way your husband talks to me.
Well, don't listen to him. Will you stop making trouble for me?
Raven, I'm not going to have Gloria here looking after our son.
Why not?
I've had some reports on her, and I don't like them. I think we can dispense with your services tonight. and
You
every
can't
night
do this. You have no right. Don't listen to him.
Look, I just came here to babysit your son.
And you've been fired. I thought I made that pretty clear. Look here. This is for your trouble.
Logan,
You'll just be
wait a
on your way,
minute.
right?
I'm leaving.
Good.
You know, I didn't want to come here tonight anyway.
Then we're
Gloria.
both happy,
No,
huh?
Gloria, come back here.
We got rid of her, didn't we?
You
Didn't we?
had no right to do that.
I have every right. I'm the child's father.
I have a date now. What am I going to do for a babysitter?
I will be happy to look after him for you.
No,
How's that?
thank you.
I don't play your games, Raven. If I wanted to steal him, I'd have walked out of here while you were changing your clothes.
Well, I let you stay up here because I knew Elliot was downstairs and he would have stopped you.
You really think so? Let's give him a chance. I'll go down right now and tell him you can't make it.
Wait a minute. Wait, I've got an idea.
Well, you're not taking him to that disco.
No. Would you consent if Mrs. Goodman came over to take care of him?
Yeah. If she's available, she'll be fine.
All right, well, I'll find out.
Dr. Cavanaugh.
Hi, Miles. This is Raven Swift. I'm glad you're home.
Raven, what can I do for you?
Is Mrs. Goodman there? I really want to talk to her.
No, as a matter of fact, she's not.
Well, do you know how I can get a hold of her or where she is?
Her number's in the book, Raven.
Well, look, I really need her to come over here and sit with Jamie tonight. I have to have a babysitter.
Well, she's not with us tonight. I don't know what kind of plans she's made. Why don't you give her a call, find out.
Okay, I will, thanks.
Goodbye.
Who was that?
It's Raven Swift. She wanted to know if Mrs. Goodman could come over and sit with Jamie tonight.
Thank God. Every time that phone rings, I think it's a medical emergency and you're going to change your plans.
No, that can't happen. No, I left explicit directions for all of my patients that they may not so much as sneeze for the next 5 days.
He says, I can't believe we're actually going away by ourselves.
I can't wait.
I can see why you wanted me to keep you company tonight, because there is nobody here.
Maybe they'll pick up later.
Well, come on and be my first dance.
No, wait a second. I have to check in with Charlie. I want to look over the receipts.
Come on, you don't need an adding machine to tell you what business is like tonight. And besides, if you can't make any money, you might as well have some fun.
Words of encouragement to bolster my confidence. Thank you, Raven.
Come on, Elliot, I can't go out there without a partner.
Listen, in a disco, anyone is everybody's partner. You just go and enjoy yourself.
You are no fun.
Run along.
Hey, hi, D. What can I get you?
All right, Charlie, make it the usual. Make it a double.
Hey, you gotta take it easy with that stuff, huh?
Maybe if I drink enough of this elixir, it'll affect my vision. Make me see double the amount of people that are here.
Yeah, well, the crowd is a little bit disappointing.
It's downright depressing.
Well, look at it this way, Mr. Dorn. There's only one way we can go, and that's up, huh?
Or out.
Hey, excuse me, Mr. Dorn, we've got a bit of a problem.
Tell your problems to the bartender, Mr. McGrath. That's his job.
Hey, don't be surprised if we're going to be dancing by candlelight. We've got a problem over here with the electrical system.
That's what I need, more good news.
Hey, now look, I can keep the system running and risk shorting it out, or I can shut down. Now, what do you want me to do?
I want you to fix the system, Mr. McGrath.
Hey, look, Mr. Dorn, I can run the thing, but I can't fix it. I'm not an electrician.
Hey, look, there's a zillion wires attached to that light board, Mr. Dorn. Now we gotta call in somebody who knows what they're doing.
I keep forgetting. Mr. McGrath's specialty is puppeteering. Now, why don't you whip me up an electronic puppet?
Mr. Dorn, my puppets can help you out around here, but not in that department. I'm sorry.
Mr. McGrath, I'd appreciate it if you fix the system. Excuse me.
Hey, listen. Don't you fiddle around with something you know nothing about. The last thing we can afford right now is to start paying workman's comp.
What is Mr. Dorn's problem? He is always coming in here dumping on me.
Well, he's just a moody guy, that's all. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Hey, look, I'm gonna go check on the fuse box.
Now, wait a minute. I got something here. I don't want to be responsible for this. Come on. What's in it anyway?
I'll tell you what this is, Charlie. It may not look like much, but it's an old friend of mine's home. I was out on the street the other day and I ran into this guy and he said, "Hey, how you doing, kid?" And I come up with, "Hey, Charlie, Disco Danny is my name and I am the baddest dude in town. Give me 5.
Am I going to give you 5? You got it there, Dan.
Hey, Charlie, where's my main lady?"
Well, you just turn around right over there.
Okay, buddy. Hey, woman, how you doing, baby? I tell you, when this little lady here does a dance, she is sheer poetry in motion. See ya, poetry. Whoa, baby! Beat it, Chop. Hey, baby, how
about the next dance? We can really get down at the unicorn.
Check it out. Elliot, look at this.
Excuse me. The show's over. I'm sorry for the inconvenience. Mr. McGrath has something to do. Why don't you all just keep on enjoying yourself?
Hey, Mr. Dorn, don't you think they really like my puppets?
What was that all about? Did I give you permission to show off your puppets?
Hey, I was just showing the guy to Charlie, and everybody crowded around, and they really seemed to like it.
That's what happened, Mr. Dorn. I mean, those kids were drawn to those puppets like bees to honey, right?
You were paid to take care of the lighting system, not to bother the customers. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Now, if I don't want to see hide nor hair of those pesky little animal friends of yours, if they make one more unscheduled appearance, you're all sacked.
See what I can do to keep the lights running.
Thank you.
You are an A1 killjoy, you know that?
I love you too.
Those puppets were fun, something that this place is lacking.
Listen, I'm running a discotheque, not a showplace for some teenager to show off his animal friends.
My, aren't we in a foul mood?
I'm sorry, Raven. I didn't mean to be cross at you.
All right, baby. What's the matter?
You know what the matter is. I had visions of this place packed wall to wall with people. Maybe if I dressed that irresistible body of yours in a scanty waitress's uniform.
Wait a minute. How could you even think of me as a waitress? That job is so common.
Well, you could earn some pocket money and support me for a while you're waiting for Jamie's inheritance to come through. Providing, of course, you keep the custody.
Well, I will keep the custody because with that letter gone, Logan is all but conceded.
Not gone, Raven. Hidden. Not gone.
Elliot Dorn, sometimes I wonder what you're thinking. But let me tell you something. If that letter ends up in Logan Swift's hands, I will kill you.
Don't worry about it, darling. That letter is safely tucked away. And as long as you keep your end of the bargain, it will never see the light of day.
How could you possibly stoop so low as to blackmail me into your love slave?
Blackmailing is such a vulgar term for our arrangement. Seeing that the only payment.
I'm really looking forward to this vacation.
Just you and me, plenty of privacy.
I know exactly what I want to do the minute we get to Palace Park.
Do you? What?
Well, it's something we both like. But because of our crazy schedules, we don't always get a chance to do it. We're too tired.
Well, if you're thinking what I think you're thinking, I think that's a very good idea.
I just hope there aren't too many people around, you know. I always get embarrassed when there are crowds.
People are going to watch us.
What do you think I was talking about?
Maybe you better tell me what you had in mind.
Tennis. As soon as we get there, I'm going to reserve a court. I'm going to get back at you for beating me. I'm determined to win at least one game.
Tennis. It's fine. Good. I'm looking forward to that.
Well, we don't have to spend the whole vacation on opposite sides of the net. You know, when we get there, I'm sure we'll find a little bit of time for indoor sports.
Yes, now you're talking. Now you're talking.
I just want this vacation to be perfect. You know what I've done? I've gone out and I've splurged on a gorgeous evening gown. But you don't get to see it until dinner tomorrow night.
I don't care what you wear. You're still going to be the most beautiful woman at Palace Park. Most beautiful woman in the world, as far as I'm concerned.
I love you.
Remind me to thank Geraldine for giving you this time off, will you?
You know, I really had to hustle to get all my work finished today. What made it really crazy was I had 2 features that had to be finished because they're running this weekend. Just chase all over town. Oh, I don't think I had 5 minutes to sit down and relax.
Well, we all have out-of-the-ordinary days. At least this was in a good cause.
You know, it really was an out-of-the-ordinary day.
In some respects, it was downright peculiar.
How so?
Well, This is going to sound really strange, but I think I was followed today.
Followed by whom?
A girl.
What girl?
I don't know who she was. I saw her when I got to the studio this morning. She's very young. She's pretty. And I saw her again at the studio coffee shop, and when I left for the day, she was there.
Don't you think it could be somebody who just works nearby, who's taking a coffee break, getting some air?
I suppose so. Seems like an awful lot of coincidental meetings.
Well, it sounds like it really bothered you.
As a matter of fact, it did.
I really don't think this is anything for you to be concerned about.
It just made me feel uneasy, that's all.
I'm sure there's nothing sinister about it. I bet I know who it is. It's a fan who wants to have your autograph. She's just too shy to ask for it.
I didn't have that feeling. It really didn't.
Well, why not?
Well, it's kind of hard to explain, but every time I saw her, she was staring at me, scrutinizing me. It's like she wanted to have a good, hard look at me.
Hi, welcome to the Unicorn. Before I can serve you any alcoholic beverages, I have to see some form of identification with proof of age.
I'm old enough, don't worry.
Well, I'm willing to believe you, but the state liquor authorities insist that I uphold this law. I'm sorry.
All I want is a ginger ale.
Oh,
I can hold my soda pop, trust me.
in that case. You seem to be a fan of Mrs. Kavanaugh. She does have quite a following.
Mrs. Kavanaugh. That's Nicole Drake.
Oh, it's one and the same thing. She uses her maiden name for professional reasons. Women do that these days.
She's married?
Yes, to the eminent Dr. Miles Kavanaugh.
How do you like that?
One soda pop coming up.
Mrs. Miles Kavanaugh. No wonder you weren't in the phone book.
Thank you for the coffee and sympathy, April, but I really do have to go.
Hey, wait a minute. You just got here.
Well, I have to go to work.
Well, what about your...
Well, the doctor said as long as I take it easy, I can sit behind a desk and type.
Well, I'm really disappointed. I mean, I thought we could, I don't know, talk for a bit. Listen, are you free for dinner some night?
I'm free every night of the week, except when I'm working, of course.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. How long is Steve going to be out of town?
About 3 months.
Well, then let's make a date soon, okay?
Whenever your schedule permits, sure.
My schedule, well, I don't have any definite schedule right now except for the one that she keeps me on. And the only important thing I have going on my calendar these days... Oh, yes, I have a meeting with the people who are going to buy my house today.
Oh, you've already sold it. That's really quick.
Yeah, isn't it? And I found a wonderful couple. They're newlyweds, and the woman is... Well, she's really lovely. And I haven't met her husband yet, but from the way she talks about him, I think I'm going to like him, too.
Well, as long as you feel right about it, that's all that counts.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It's just really important to me that whoever I sell the house to can, I don't know, feel for the house the way I do, or did. And, well, to listen to Emily Michaels talk, it's her dream house.
What was that name?
Michaels, Emily Michaels.
Michaels.
Does that sound familiar?
Yeah, for some reason.
you all right?
Just getting myself psyched up for this.
You poor thing.
You know, I'm just starting to get used to it now. I know, you're right. It's going to look a lot better if I'm clean shaven at the employment office. Well, here goes.
The Michaels are from out of town. In all probability, you're thinking of someone else.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, if it's important, I'm sure it'll come to me. Meanwhile, I've got to go.
Come on, why the rush? Because I have to go to work. The least you can do is stay for breakfast.
No, I can't really, April. Thank you.
Why? You're one of those people. I know you're one of those no breakfast people. Well, listen to this. I refuse to let you out on the streets of Monticello to protect the law-abiding men, women, and children of this town on an empty stomach.
You really do sound maternal, Mother Scott.
And I have a very healthy appetite, and I don't like eating alone. Come on, what'll it be? Waffles? Ham and eggs?
Make it a rain check. Now, I already have a date for breakfast.
Oh.
Yeah, with Calvin. Whenever he gets off duty and I'm coming on duty, we always
No problem. You give him a call, you tell him to meet you here. I can cook for 3 as easily as I can cook for 2.
Thank you, though, but see, it's becoming a tradition with us. He's probably already waiting for me at Joe's.
I'll be sure to say hello.
Oh, I will. Okay, you win. Michaels. That name keeps buzzing around in my head.
Oh, well, don't let it. I mean, it'll drive you crazy all day.
By any chance, is Emily Michaels' husband's name Kirk?
Yes, as a matter of fact, it is. How'd you know that?
I think I might have met her one time.
Oh, listen, that's my phone. The elevator should be here any minute.
Yeah, go ahead, answer it.
Oh, there you go. Listen, I'll talk to you soon. Take care of yourself,
Yeah.
okay?
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Hello.
Good morning, Mommy.
Oh, Nicole. Hi. Listen, what are you doing home? I thought you'd be on your way to Palace Park by now.
Well, we will be as soon as Becky gets here. I just wanted to call and see how you're doing.
Well, I'm just fine. Deborah was here for a little bit. She just left, kept me company.
Oh, good.
Listen, I'm glad you called because I have something to tell you. I want you and Miles to have the best vacation you have ever had. Enjoy yourself more. And I don't want you to come back to Monticello until you two are just so relaxed and so tan that you will make me so jealous.
Whatever you say.
Oh, listen, I have some other information that might be interesting. When you come back to Monticello, you will no longer, well, maybe no longer be the workhorse at WMON.
You're planning to fire me?
Something even better. I'm considering going back to work. How about that?
Well, that would be great. Just a second. Here's Miles. Why don't you tell him about it?
Put him on.
It's April.
Hi there, kid. You're going back to work. Congratulations.
Well, I'm thinking about it, but not so fast. I still have to find someone who's super trustworthy to take care of my absolutely perfect daughter.
Oh, Mrs. Goodman might have a few good suggestions.
Oh, good. If she has any names, tell her to give me a call and I'll set up a few interviews.
Will do. Listen, now, if you need anything while we're gone, I mean anything at all, give us a call, right? We're only 2 hours away.
Miles, you know this is getting boring. You know that, huh? The only thing I want you and Nicole to think about for the next couple of days is each other. You got that?
All right. We'll see you when we get back.
Have a wonderful time.
Thanks. Bye-bye. Now, this is the last of the luggage. I can start loading the car.
Good. I hope I haven't forgotten anything.
Forgotten anything? We got so many bags here, the neighbors are going to think we're moving.
Listen, I think can you handle this?
Yeah.
I can't wait to get there.
It's going to be a nice change of pace for us, isn't it?
Yeah.
You get it?
4 nights and 5 days with no patients and no newscasts.
Only decisions we're going to have to make are what court will we play tennis in? What restaurants will we dine in?
Hey, you know, I was thinking of having a few of our meals delivered up to our room.
Yes, Mr. Porter. I know you've got someone waiting for the room.
Right. 2 nights at $15 a night. I owe you $30. I'll be right over to pay up. $30. 10, 15, 16, $17. Well, I'm sorry, Mr. Porter. It's all I've got. It's gonna have to do.
Let's get out of here. This is a terrible idea.
Look, you were the one who thought an employment agency was the only idea.
I know, but I thought it would be easier just to dump it into somebody else's lap.
Well, that's just what we're going to do. Now, come on, sit down. Everything is going to be just fine.
You are the eternal optimist.
I didn't used to be before you came along.
I wish I could have phoned this interview in.
Oh, stop worrying. You're going to make a wonderful impression. You know, you're very handsome without that beard.
Yeah? You know, after I shaved, I didn't recognize myself.
Can barely see the scars now. I think they're going to disappear completely. Now, don't worry. You just go in there and see that man, and you tell him that you are bright and intelligent and you can do anything at all.
That's just what I'll do.
He'll see it for himself anyway. You'll probably end up with some corporate vice president job.
In charge of corporate vice?
Oh, very funny.
Emily, I feel like a fraud. Look, this resume you made up, it's a complete work of fiction.
Well, I had to give you some kind of background. Look, I put Molly down as a personal reference. If they call her, she'll corroborate whatever you say.
I don't even know what kind of job to ask for.
Well, you don't have to be specific. Just tell them you want to keep your options open. That sounds very businesslike. Kirk, remember, you're doing this company a favor. They're in the business of finding jobs for people.
Yeah, that's right.
And it won't be very hard. Of course, you will have to be vague about certain things. But if you go in there and just be yourself, they're going to see that you're a good, kind, intelligent person. And that kind of person is always in demand.
You know, you are terrific. You make me feel like I can do anything.
Oh, that's the kind of attitude that's going to land you a job.
Mr. Michaels, I'm ready for you now.
Well, that's for good luck. And this is because I love you.
Sorry to keep you waiting so long, Michaels. Have a seat.
Thank you.
So, you're looking for a job. Well, you certainly came to the right place.
I certainly hope so.
Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, actually, there's not much to tell. My wife and I were relocating from Evansville, and I need a job.
Uh-huh. What type of position are you looking for? What's your starting salary?
Well, actually, I'm pretty flexible in that area.
Uh-huh. All right. Well, let me take a quick look at your resume there, and we'll see what we can do. What type of general office work did you do for this? Galt Enterprises.
It was just that, general office work.
Uh-huh. Typing, filing, administrative assistant work, what?
Yes, it was whatever they asked me to do.
Can you operate office machinery, duplicating machines, postage meters, that sort of thing?
Well, I'm sure that I could master any procedure that I had to.
That's not what I asked.
I'm sorry. It's just that I need a job pretty badly, and I don't feel I'm in any position to be choosy about it.
If I were to call this Galt Enterprises, what would they tell me about you?
Well, I'm afraid you can't do that.
Why not? Would they say something that I wouldn't be too happy to hear?
Well, no. It's just that they've gone out of business recently.
Oh, I see. And your only professional reference is not verifiable.
No, I'm afraid it's not.
Mr. Michaels, finding work for the most qualified of people is no mean task these days. Finding you employment might be next to impossible.
But your ad said that you had jobs, hundreds of them, all kinds.
Yes, people with trained skills and trades.
But I'm a good, hard worker. All I really need is a chance just to prove myself.
Doing what? Mr. Michaels, you seem to be quite sincere. But before I can recommend to one of my clients that they hired you, I've got to know more about your experience, as well as your personal background.
But that doesn't matter. Look, I said I'd take anything.
Having worked for some defunct company 200 miles from here, was never in the military, attended some high school out in the boondocks. I mean, this is simply not sufficient.
I'm sorry, that's all there is.
Michaels, were you ever in prison?
Why do you ask that?
Experience, Mr. Michaels, experience. Sometimes people with criminal records try to hide their past. And they come in here with skimpy resumes such as yours. No offense, I hope.
Mr. Finchley, I think I have to be honest with you.
Oh, better late than never.
I've been ill recently.
You got any hospital records?
No, I was treated by a private physician.
Was your illness physical or mental?
I was in an accident. It affected my memory. I can't seem to bring up much of my past.
I see.
But it hasn't affected my intelligence or my willingness to work. Please, Mr. Finchley, I just want a job. Get me a job, please, and you're not going to be sorry. I promise you that.
Well, I'll make a few phone calls and we'll see what we can do.
Can you give me an idea of what kind of job you had in mind?
Oh, I don't think there'd be very much point discussing that now. And as a matter of fact, if you'll excuse me, I do have another appointment.
You have no intention of trying to help me, do you?
Of course I do.
Thanks for your time.
Well, some people. Oh, I'll keep your application on file, all right.
Since Kirk was in the accident, he's been really reticent around strangers, so I know this interview is really difficult for him.
I think it's all going to be all right.
It was his idea to go to that employment agency while you and I were looking over these papers.
Well, that's all the more reason for you not to be concerned. Look, if he went to the employment agency on his own, self-initiated, that probably means that he's got a lot more self-confidence than you are willing to give him credit for.
I hope you're right. If Kirk were able to get a job today, especially on his own, I know that it would give his ego a real boost.
Boy, let's see. A new home and a new job all in the same week. You can't ask for anything more than that.
It really would be a run of good luck, wouldn't it?
Listen, how you doing with the house? You getting all settled in?
We've only been there a couple of days, but Kirk and I have grown even closer in that short time than we've ever been before. Although I feel kind of guilty living in a house that I haven't officially bought yet.
That's all right. That will be taken care of soon enough. In the meanwhile, I see no reason why you can't be my house sitter.
Well, the check for my father's life insurance policy should be coming in any day now. And as soon as it does, I'm going to sign it right over to you.
Whenever, okay? By the way, I saw an acquaintance of yours this morning.
Of mine? Mm-hmm. I think that's impossible. You're the only person in Monticello I know.
Are you sure? Her name is Deborah Saxon.
No, I don't think so.
Well, and I thought all police detectives had wonderful memories.
A police detective? And you know this woman?
Yeah, she's a very good friend of mine. She also said she knows you.
See, I want to do the right thing. It's just that I don't know what that is.
Well, if you ask me, The right thing is just to mind your own business. Would you pass me the butter?
But this could be the same woman. In fact, I know she's the same woman, Cal.
Personally, I just don't see where the problem is.
April is selling her house to Emily Michaels. The same house that she's so concerned about getting the right people to take over.
Okay, well, if April's satisfied with them, why do you want to interfere, huh?
Because April doesn't know that Emily Michaels came to see me asking about Kirk Michaels. The guy has a police record.
Look, you told me that there hadn't been any warrants put out on this guy for, 9 years? He's probably walking the straight and narrow.
I also didn't like the way she conducted her little investigation. She didn't even give me the right name. She told me her name was Emily Mitchell. And she said that she was asking about this old friend of hers named Kirk Michaels, and she's married to the guy.
Look, Michaels probably told his old lady he had a past, but he really didn't talk about it much. She got curious and decided to check up on him. It's no big thing.
April thinks she's selling her house to this couple that everybody in America would love to have as next-door neighbors, but I don't think that's the case.
Red, being secretive is not against the law.
My problem is, do I keep what I know a secret from April?
Look, I know Rebecca's late, but staring out the window's not going to make her get here any quicker.
Just don't want to miss one more minute of this vacation than's necessary.
I will be leaving Monticello behind us sooner than you know.
All of Monticello?
What's that supposed to mean?
Well, I don't know. I just sort of can see us on the interstate, and I'm going to look in the rearview mirror, and I'm going to see my newfound friend in a taxi going behind us going, follow that car, follow that car.
Hey, don't go getting paranoid on me, will you?
Oh, I know. I just can't get her out of my mind.
I still say it's just some young fan who's so much in awe of you, she's afraid to come up and ask for an autograph.
Maybe.
If that isn't it, then it's just coincidence. I wish you would forget about it.
No, I should.
You made it.
Another 5 minutes, we were calling out a search party for you.
Oh, 1,000 pardons for being late, folks. You shouldn't know from the day I've had so far.
Oh, did you get up out of the wrong side of the bed today?
Well, actually, it started last night. I was sitting for Jamie. He was a doll, as usual, but his mother decided not to prance home until the very wee hours.
Typical.
That lady gives me a real pain. So I decided I'd sleep later today, right? Wrong. First thing, phone rang bright and early. Yes.
Well, you and Adam can take your nap at the same time this afternoon, then.
Yes, well then, on my way over here, I ran into such traffic. The day can only get better, right?
Right. Well, you're here now.
Good.
Listen, this is the number at Palace Park, and these are the emergency numbers. The refrigerator's full. Guest room's ready. Here's the money. And Adam's asleep. He'll be awake in about a half an hour, and he's looking forward to seeing you.
Good. What are you standing around for? You have a vacation to go on.
Right, and we're going.
Yes, good. And don't worry about Adam and me. We're going to be just fine. I want you to have a great time. Really, really knock yourselves out.
Thank you. We'll work on it.
Good. You know, for a minute I thought you got tired of waiting and called in a second string.
What do you mean?
Either that or you taking in a boarder.
Why?
Well, when I got here, there was a very pretty girl standing outside with a beat-up old suitcase. Looked like she was trying to make up her mind whether or not to come through the gate. I asked her whether she was lost or something. She said she knew exactly where she was.
Was this a teenage girl?
Stay here. I'll be right back.
worrying about Kirk at that employment agency. Really wanted to stay there with him. He wouldn't hear of it.
You really don't think he'll manage, do you?
Well, not after this illness and his impaired memory. They ask so many questions at places like that, education, background.
Yeah. It could really be difficult. Well, I suppose the only thing he can really do is be honest.
I know honesty is the best policy in most things, but in this case, I told him not to be too honest. Well, he'll never have a chance. You know how some people are.
Yeah, I'm afraid so. It's really a shame.
And it's very unfair, because Kirk is really intelligent. You can see that right away. But with his impaired memory, he comes off as someone who doesn't have much to offer.
Well, let's see. He could become an apprentice or go to a school and learn a trade.
It would be wonderful if we didn't need the money right away. He wants a job so badly. I just hope this interview doesn't discourage him. It's one of the reasons I wanted to be there with him.
You might have been able to explain the situation.
Which is just what he didn't want me to do. It can be so difficult, stubborn sometimes.
So can I. I'm sure you can, too. Lord knows my husband was. Oh.
That might be Kirk.
Huh? Hello?
Emily Michaels, please.
Kirk, is that you?
Yes.
This is April Scott. I can hardly hear you.
Your wife is here. She's been worrying about you for almost an hour.
I'm sorry.
Oh, listen, I've got an idea.
Why don't you come on up here and have a cup of coffee and tell us everything that happened? You're very close, and I certainly would like to meet you.
I'm sorry. I'm just not feeling very well, especially after that interview I took.
Oh, doesn't sound as if it went too well. Look, I think I'll let you talk to your wife.
Thanks. Hi. What happened?
Look, I hope your friend doesn't think I'm terribly rude, but I just don't feel like meeting anybody new. Not after meeting Mr. Finchley.
But did he give you a hard time?
Yeah. Made me sound like I was crazy for taking up his time.
Oh, Kirk. Well, did you have to tell him about your being ill recently?
Yeah, and I told him, and when he heard that, he shriveled up like a match. And then he asked me if I had a criminal record. Emily, maybe I had to just forget about getting a job. Oh, listen to me. I'm beginning to sound terribly sorry for myself, and it's boring.
Look, why don't you come up here just for a little while, please?
No, Emily, no. I think I'd just rather go home.
Yeah, of course, I understand. Look, I'll leave here now, and I'll meet you on that corner that we had planned on.
Okay, I'll wait for you here.
And don't worry about anything. We'll figure out another way for you to get a job, and to heck with Mr. Finchley. Okay? Bye-bye.
It didn't go very well, after all, huh?
Afraid not.
Very sorry. And what are you going to do now?
I don't know. Guess it's my turn to go look for a job.
Do you have any idea what you'd like to do?
No, my credentials aren't any better than Kirk's. I've never had a job before.
Oh, wait a second. You did manage your father's household, didn't you?
No, not really. We had this terrific housekeeper, Molly Sherwood. Oh, poor Molly. She's unemployed now, too. Yeah, at least she has a few dollars to get her through till she finds another place. But wait, I did do something at home. I took care of my father's practice.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Now that not only is experience, it happens to be very marketable.
Yeah. You know, I was thinking about applying for a job in a hospital or a clinic or something.
Mm-hmm.
Well, look, I really have to go. Kirk's going to be waiting.
Yeah, I'm really sorry that Kirk didn't come up here, but I just want
you to know that I do understand.
Well, maybe we could get you to come out to the house in Oakdale sometime.
Oh, no, I don't think so, but thank you.
I really would like you to meet Kirk.
I will sometime. Listen, you just live in that house and you love it as much as I did, and that's all that really matters.
I really do love it. And I have you to thank for it. You've really been very good to me. I've never had a friend.
Well, you do now.
Thanks.
People are always more important than places or things anyway. And I'm sure that house is important and beautiful to you because it's the place where you and your husband can share your happiness.
Yeah, it really is. You know, this place is beautiful, too. It's just magnificent. Although I don't know how you could live here alone. I really do have to say goodbye.
Okay, listen, give my regards to Kirk, and don't worry, everything's gonna work out.
Thanks. Bye-bye now.
Bye. Yeah, it is lonely.
What I can't understand is why didn't Draper Scott make a copy of that letter that he got from Raven?
Well, it wasn't even a legal document, Cliff. It didn't have any significance for Draper or April after Jamie left their home.
Now, once they turned Jamie over to me, the letter was meaningless. It didn't become important again until Raven decided to fly back from London.
But that's not the point. You see, I always make a habit of making a copy of everything. You know, letters, laundry bills, old Valentines.
So that's why you spend so much time at the copying machine.
Better by stocking the company.
I didn't know you minded. It's just a damn shame that we don't have that letter. If we did, I could clinch this custody case.
Well, we don't have it, Cliff, so we have to manage without it.
Yes. Well, we do have another avenue of attack.
Yeah, what's that?
You changed your mind about calling April Scott to testify.
You're in luck. My mind's been changed. I had a couple of women working on me about that very subject.
Who worked on you?
Well, April mostly, but Geraldine too. They pointed out it was silly of me to risk losing custody of my son simply to spare April the ordeal of testifying.
Well, it's about time. For a while there, I thought you were going to be really stupid about this, boss.
Well, thank you, Cliff.
Don't take it personal. Most men get really stupid when they get around beautiful women.
Oh, really? Even you?
Especially him. Anyway, that's good news, Logan. All we have to do now is get this case into court as quickly as possible.
Yeah, I wish Judge Lewis would take some action on this.
I sincerely hope this isn't the only case on your desk. It's hardly going to make you rich and famous. Emphasis on the rich.
Money isn't everything. And it is not the only case on my desk. See this? We just got this yesterday. Did you tell him about it, Mike?
No. It's not going to be as pleasant as getting back your baby, Logan. Some of the relatives who had families in the Grand Falls train wreck are suing the railroad.
I heard about that, so you're handling the claims.
A few of them. But I have mixed emotions about it. Brings back memories of Draper. This is the file that Cliff put together for me on the Grand Falls accident.
That is the toughest assignment I've ever had. Some of those photos were gruesome.
Yeah, I can imagine. I'm not looking forward to going through them.
I'm sure you're not. What about the families? Do you think they have a legitimate claim against the company?
I honestly don't know, Logan. We're in the process of gathering evidence. I'm going to talk to some engineers to see if the accident could have been avoided by the railroad.
It's sad, but I don't think they have a case. I mean, they're going to rule it an act of God or nature on the rampage.
Well, it's going to be difficult to assess accountability. But in the interests of a few heartbroken clients, we'll do our best. Anyway, Do we have anything else on our agenda here?
The only thing that I can see is asking April to write out an affidavit about the letter she received from Raven.
Yeah, we'll need that.
You know, we could call your wife and force her to testify at this custody hearing.
What for? She'd only lie. I can tell you what she'd say right now. The letter only gave April and Draper permission to care for Jamie while she was traveling in Europe. Only temporary, nothing permanent.
I'm afraid it's going to be her word against ours.
Exactly.
Yes, but I could break her down on the stand.
She's been watching too many Perry Mason reruns. You couldn't crack Raven. She's made of tempered steel.
But I could penetrate that steel, and when I was done, you would have that kid. You'd be up to your neck in oatmeal and baby powder before you knew it.
Well, Duke, I'll just have to take your word on that. Anybody for lunch?
You know, this is a business meeting. We could all go to lunch and then put it on the company account.
Whose company?
What about you, Mike? You free?
No, I have a lunch date.
Well, if it's Nancy, we could make it a foursome.
No, it's a client. Nancy has a lunch date of her own.
I see. Well, another time. I'll be in touch. What do you like on your hamburgers?
And here we are, back again.
Hey, well, thanks for showing me around. Never been in a newspaper office before.
Well, it's a bit different than most people think. No reporters running around shouting, stop the presses.
Yeah, it's surprisingly quiet. I expected lots of rushing around of people and roaring of machinery.
Well, as you saw, the machinery is in the basement, and the rushing around starts usually about an hour before the deadline. Then the panic sets in, but somehow we do manage to get the paper out.
Sounds like an exciting job.
Oh, it is. It is very often. I imagine the same as show business is.
Well, I can't really say since I'm not in show business yet. Guess the closest I've come so far are doing those puppet things for Mrs. Saxon. But I'm working now, and I'm happy with that job. 2 points.
Kelly, are you in contact much with Mr. Dorn over at the Unicorn?
Hardly see him at all, except last night. Afraid he saw me and didn't like it very much.
Why, what do you mean?
Well, I took one of my puppets with me to work. I was fooling around with it at the bar, and all these people started coming over and really getting into it and watching my puppet routine. But Mr. Dorn, he got annoyed.
Well, that isn't what you were hired to do.
I know, but everybody liked it. And I still think the puppets would make a great addition to the puppets, to the Unicorn.
You are really anxious to get your career started, aren't you? But I can understand, because you do only have the summer.
Why do you say that?
Well, I assume that you're going to be going to college this fall. Have you decided where you want to go, Europe, or do you want to stay here in the States?
Aunt Nancy, I'm not going to school at all.
You're not?
No. And I'm not going back to Rome either. I plan to stay right here in Monticello. Permanently. Don't misunderstand me, Aunt Nancy. I don't plan on mooching off of you and Uncle Mike forever. I just hope to stay with you until I can afford a place of my own.
Well, this is something of a surprise, Kelly. I mean, you never even hinted that this was your intention.
Sorry, I guess we never really discussed it yet, have we?
I think we did a little bit, and your uncle and I got the distinct impression that you weren't here for a summer holiday.
Mom and Dad are going to be living in Rome for 4 or 5 years. I don't want that.
I'm sure you discussed this with them.
Yeah, we've discussed it.
And how do they feel?
Well, I wouldn't exactly say that they're happy, but they understand.
Kelly, are you sure? Look, dear, I can see why they can understand that you don't want to spend so long in Italy, but my goodness, not to continue your education at all.
Look, Aunt Nancy, I want to work, and I've got to be independent.
Good. Wonderful. I'm so glad to hear that. And the best way to be independent is to get as much education as you can. All right, I know. It's just very ordinary advice, but it's very true.
And I wouldn't expect you to say anything else.
Kelly, I know my brother. He not only had a good college education, he did postgraduate work, and he was just sensational. He was terrific, and he wouldn't be the success he is today if he hadn't.
I know that. But Dad is an architect. And an architect goes to college to learn things from books. I'm going to be in show business.
Oh, I see. And you feel that that would give you the excuse to get away from all that drudgery?
Look, you're upset, and I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that at all.
No, Kelly, please, dear boy, I care about you. And I want you to do the thing that's going to be best for your future. You're my nephew.
Yeah, and you and Uncle Mike have both. You've both been great to me.
Kelly, are you sure you haven't quarreled with your parents?
No, we didn't quarrel.
Now, we did have a disagreement, but there was no fight.
And you won't go back to Rome?
No, not ever. I can't.
Can't. Not even to visit your mother and dad?
Not even to visit my parents. Now, if they want to see me, they've got to come here to Monticello.
Kelly, why?
I just can't tell you, Aunt Nancy. I'm sorry.
It's cold in here. I'm gonna open up my window and let some more air in.
It's probably just my cold mood.
I think we could do with some lunch. There's some hot soup sound.
Yeah, that'll be all right.
Good, I'll go check and see what's in the cupboard. Honey, do you have a headache?
Yeah, just a slight one.
You want me to get you some aspirin?
No, I don't want any aspirin.
Kirk, please.
Emily, it's just not going to work out. I mean, this job hunting of mine. You know, no matter where I go to apply for a job, I'm still have to going to fill out an application. And I can't answer any of the questions, fill in any of the blanks except my name.
Well, we know now that that employment agency was a bad idea.
Emily, even if I answer a help wanted ad, I still have to know certain things about myself. I don't even have a social security number.
Oh, my gosh, that's right. I never thought of that. Well, look, I can get you the number. I'll just call the Social Security office.
Maybe I ought to apply for disability insurance, welfare.
No. Now, you want to work, and I know you'll be a good, hard worker if someone gives you the chance.
But the only jobs I'm qualified for are unskilled labor.
Now, that's not true.
Emily, but don't worry. I mean, even those jobs are hard to come by. I mean, it's just as hard to get a job digging ditches as it is to work in a bank because of the unions and the restrictions and all.
You know, that's just the kind of job you should have, working in a bank in some kind of training program. Or what about the idea we had about a law office?
Well, whatever. I know the one thing I'm not going to do is go back to Monticello. Not now.
I agree with you. I think it's much too crowded and pushy and noisy and competitive there. I think you need a nice, quiet place to work.
Yeah, like in a morgue.
Well, I don't know where, but there must be jobs available in Oakdale.
Yeah,
We just have to find them.
But I'm sure in Oakdale they're not going to pay very much.
I'm going to be working too, Kirk. Remember, we're going to have 2 salaries here.
What about the house payments?
Don't worry about it. No, even if they're late, April will understand. Look, it's the best thing that's happened to us is not only having this lovely house, but having a friend in April Scott.
Hello. Hi, this is Logan. How are you this morning?
Oh, good morning. I'm fine.
Well, I just called to thank you again for the wonderful evening the other night.
Oh, I think you already did thank me.
Also, I got your invitation for tonight. I will be there with bells on, and one other little thing has come up. Now, I don't know how interested you are in baseball, but I got a couple of tickets for the game this Saturday, and I thought you might like an afternoon in the sunshine with hot dogs and yelling.
Well, I'm not a pro, but I love baseball, and I'll bring my glove.
Well, that's fine. You don't have to be a pro because I'm an expert. I can tell you anything you need to know. These are terrific tickets, too. They're right on the 50-yard line.
I think that's football.
Oh, is it? Oh, that's okay. I'm an expert at football, too. Played center forward for the varsity. My slap shot was legendary. Anyhow, sounds like fun to me. What do you say?
Well, we still have a problem with the babysitter.
No, you don't. The tickets I got are from your babysitter for this Saturday, Mrs. Geraldine Saxon.
Well, in that case, how can I possibly refuse?
You can't. I'll pick you up at noon. I'll bring the babysitter with me.
Well, I'm looking forward to it.
So am I. And I will see you tonight.
Good.
Bye-bye.
Oh, my God.
What, is something wrong?
I just came across this.
Wait. This is Draper Scott, isn't it?
What was left of it. And Sergeant Dwyer.
Well, I told you these photos are pretty grisly.
Yeah. 2 dead bodies. Handcuffed together.
Sure, I'm glad you're handling that part of the case, Mike.
Cliff, I don't even know if there is a case. I won't know that until I have a chance to go through all this material.
Well, now you know what I had to go through when I had to sift through all those police photos.
You know, there's something odd about this picture. I can't figure out what it is.
Oh, well, when you do, let me know, all right? I've seen enough of those photos for one day. I'll go back to my office.
Okay. There is something wrong here. Something very wrong.